Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek. Archer and Trip shuttle down for some hospitality, some fun in the sun, and they still haven't even gotten to Risa yet. They're on a desert planet to work on their tan, play some vol, and eat some balls. And I warn you, we are easily offensive. And we have a special guest from Trek Nerd Talk.
Seriously? That pod was just sitting out there in the middle of space and there's a Vulcan in it? All right, bring him aboard. We'll have him as a guest. That'll work. Oh, lights on. Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Starfleet Underground. My name, of course, if you don't know it by now, I am really ticked off and shouldn't even tell you. But then again, this may be your first time. So my name is Captain Nathan Adams, and I'm here with our crew and a guest. This guest, we actually just snatched him out in space in a pod. We'll get more information about that. So sorry, you Patreon people. This is a blind side for you because you didn't know. Shows you how much excitement we have. We have our science officer, Lieutenant Commander Farrell.
Hi, I'm Heather Ferris. I'm the science officer.
Damn it, I did it again. Help me, I need coffee.
Didn't you say Ferris? I'm pretty sure you said Ferris.
He said Farrell.
I did Farrell.
He said you were Ferris.
Oh.
I tried to say Ferris, and my mouth was like, my brain was like, it's Ferris, and my mouth went Farrell. So
that's better than last time when you called me Ferret. So
that's true. That's true. And the other morning when I said, good morning, Lieutenant Commander Ferengi. So
yeah. Besides, I want you to feel like bad because I sort of have something I have to bring up to you anyway. So there's going to be less punishment. When we brought the guest aboard, the Tribbles sort of were playing sand Quidditch in the cargo bay. So unfortunately, our guest got sand in places he never knew existed.
Oh, great.
Sand.
Oh dear.
Not fun.
Yeah, there's
All right. So sand to crack a dime. All right. Yeah, because I messed up your name, you get off scot-free for that.
Yay.
So
Thank you,
that.
Captain.
And because I messed up the name, I'm going to go. We now have our computer person, Patrick, the Halls of Pleasure.
I'm Patrick. I'm the computer guy. I'm also number 1 on the ship, which you never introduced me as, and the Foreign Species Liaison.
I don't know. I sort of like Halls of Pleasure. That's really cool.
Well, no one gets in my Halls of Pleasure except once every 7 years.
Is that why we have a Vulcan on board?
It's also a treat to meet a fellow number 1.
Oh,
yes.
No. Okay, next we have our computer engineer.
Not a computer engineer. I'm the engineer.
I mean, the engineer. God dog it, I need coffee. This thing is so weak, I can see through it.
Hey, Captain, I got your coffee right here.
Don't drink her coffee.
Oh, no. Okay, we have our illustrious engineer. Now, mind you, he does some things with the computer, but he's not the computer engineer. He's our engineer, winner of the O'Brien Award, Rocky.
We got engineers for the computer stuff.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rocky Robinson, engineer of the show and the ship, and just getting really excited because I am looking at the computer on this Facebook thing. There's a lot of people getting really excited about some convention coming up, and there's a couple Facebook groups you could join to see what they're talking about.
Cool.
Oh.
So let me just read off the group names real quick, just so you can look at the same ones I'm looking at. Star Trek Las Vegas, USS Rio. That's one. They've got a lot of good stuff in there. Star Trek Convention Experiences was another one that's got some information. And the officially unofficial one, the Mission Tour. That's the creation one that since they can't call it STLV anymore, they call it the Mission Tour. But there's a bunch of these little Facebook groups you can join. And some of them post this little article here and there. If you're getting excited about the conventions, there's a great article to read if you've never been to one before. It'll teach you all the stuff you need to worry about once you go to one.
Crabs.
There's also going to be a ship out there called the USS Windrunner. And they're going to have a table in the middle there, and that's part of the Star Trek Fleet fan group. So make sure you look for them as well.
Hey, who's our guest?
I'm getting ready to talk about that. Calm down. Oh my God, your Hall of Pleasure is in full effect.
It's all right.
We have a guest we actually pulled out of a pod. Information is coming across on who you are for our database. But I'm going to welcome you aboard, and please introduce yourself.
I'm Commander Fredsti of the USS, soon to be named. Our ship is still in
dry dock.
in dry dock right now, and it's being built. But we're starting a podcast and interview sessions with Trek celebrities. And it's not just about Trek. I mean, of course, it is about Trek. It's called Trek Nerd Talk. But it's more involved with the actors. It's more involved with who they are as a person. And, of course, Trek.
Well, that explains why you're out floating in a pod in the middle of space since your ship isn't built yet. So, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. I got jettisoned from the last one. That was the USS Rio Grande. So,
sorry about that. Didn't mean to
that's
snatch
okay.
you. We'll put you back. I promise we'll put you back right after everything is done. I guarantee.
It's all good.
Well, before we get fully into the show, I got to do our homework, so to speak, our personal homework. This show is being brought to you by Section 31. They always finance us. We're not quite sure or what they're going to use us for eventually, but they do that.
The credits are useless on Earth, but that's okay.
Yeah. Every once in a while, Heather disappears and we don't know why. She comes back laughing and giggling and the Tribbles look drunk. So I think something is going on with that. So,
and you'll
and
never
we also
know.
And we also being brought to you by our Patreon people. So thank you so much for being able to help spade and neuter all of our Tribbles and to see our unmentionables. So thank you. We're going to go, and first off, do we have any corrections?
Let me check subspace. I don't believe I saw anything earlier, but, something might come in last moment. Nope, we're clear. We're perfect.
Another flawless podcast. Outstanding.
Good to go.
Now we're going to go into all the information you can find north, east, west, and south of the galaxy, the news. Heather, what do you got for us?
Hi, Captain. So this week's news, I am talking about, I can't call it STLV anymore. I'm always going to know it as STLV, and I can't call it STLV anymore. It's the 55th year, I don't know what
Mission.
you call it.
Mission.
55th year mission.
Jeez, this is going to be so hard to transition.
STLV just rolls so much better off the tongue.
It really does.
And when you've been going there for 7-8 years and you're constantly know it as STLV for almost a freaking decade, it's like, you want me to do what? That's going to be in my head forever.
That's okay. They're going to ask you to go to Chicago soon, so that's all right.
And the doctor knows what antibiotics to give you when you tell him STLV.
Yes, that's true. Oh,
So-
you went to that.
For 2021, basically in a little more than a month, we have just about a month there. I just want to let you guys know that they figured out there will be no mask mandate at STLV. So mask is going to be a personal preference if you want to wear it or not wear it. Also, it's something you guys should know. Photo ops are going to be completely different than they were in the past. It will not be touchy-feely. Before, you could touch them and hug them and get up close to them and act stuff out, and they're like, it's going to be totally different, so expect that.
They don't have specific details yet, right? They're going to put that on the
specifics.
website soon.
All they said was expect it to be different.
So are they going to have all the actors are going to walk around with signs like the Horta, no touch eye? No touch eye.
The only photo op you're going to get is the engineering section at the end of Star Trek 2.
Oh, my
Or
God.
they're going to do forced perspective. They're going to have forced perspective. The actor is going to stand in the foreground and you stand 6 feet behind him waving. So
I just figured that Patrick Stewart would be wearing one of those inflatable dinosaur suits.
There you go.
oh, yeah.
Have you guys seen The Naked Gun?
Yep, the full body condom.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking right now. If you're going to go to this, you got to wear the full body condom with the reservoir tip.
Wow. Maybe that's why they won't tell them what they're going to do, because they're afraid people won't buy it if they find out it's some weird contraption like you stand between plastic shields.
Well, hopefully it's lube for their protection.
I only like to raw dog my photos.
Yeah. Well, it's Las Vegas. People don't wear protection.
Oh, God. Yeah, there's more lube than anything there.
Yeah, that's why the floor is so sticky. So
That's not
In
why the
20
floor is sticky. That's not why the floor is sticky.
in 2022, STLV will not be at the Rio. So not this year, but next year in 2022, it will not be at the Rio. It will be at Bally's instead. So just so you guys are everywhere.
Right on.
Aren't they hoping to bring it back to the Rio in 2023? So after the
Yeah,
renovations?
they got to do some rearranging of the Rio.
Rio is changing owners, so
it's gonna be.
It depends if they renew their contract with the new
Are they
owners.
still going to have the Kiss Mini Golf Course?
No, rumor has it that they want to make the Rio the new flagship for their properties. So,
Yeah, a Hyatt property, if I remember correctly.
yeah, that's correct.
Was it Hyatt or was it Hilton?
Some
I
with an
think it's
H.
a Hyatt.
I think it was the Hyatt, though.
Hyatt.
There is a mini golf course at Bally's. So if you got to get your mini golf fill, they do have one there.
True.
Yeah, but it's not Kiss.
True.
You know, just bring your own music.
Well, still, I mean, the 19th or the last hole was shooting a golf ball up fucking Gene Simmons, or I'm sorry, I swore.
That's okay. We're not for kids.
Oh,
so you're
believe
good.
me.
Yeah, did we say
Oh,
that?
by the way, we
we're
are
not
not
for
for
children.
kids. If you guys have any kids in the room, please take them out.
Oh, go
Get him the
on.
fuck out!
Perfect.
Get the fuck out!
I'm a retired Army medic, so I swear like there's no tomorrow.
Oh, believe me, we say stuff that would make you blush.
Nathan's
Oh,
a
good.
retired Marine, so you got no problem there.
All right.
And I'm just a seaman.
Funny thing is I had a medic. He transferred from the Navy, right? And he was a medic, and his last name was Sample.
Oh, wow.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you can get
Sample some
that going.
semen?
Semen Sample.
Well, just a little bit of warning. If you're a kid and if you're listening to us, we're going to send a space monkey to fuck you in your ear and you'll wake up deaf. So out of the room. And Heather, what you said about the convention makes me wonder if we're going to get autographs. They're going to be behind like a cashier window at the bank. They'll slide the thing through. They slide it through a little hole.
You know what? They just took all of those plastic dividers off of the table games, off of blackjack and everything. They're going to have to use them for something. So
I
What's going to
guarantee
be
you.
worse? You're going to have like a deposit slip that says, "Hey, I paid this. Give me your autograph."
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
I wonder how many celebrities would be screaming, "Don't fucking touch me."
Well,
All of
I mean,
them.
there's gonna be plenty of morons there who haven't been vaccinated who are going to be walking around maskless. So whatever they feel they need to do, whatever the celebrities feel they need to do to protect themselves, go for it.
I think the perfect costume would be like in the Karate Kid, how he was a shower, but you
Yeah,
just label it Purell
There
and
you
walk
go.
around Comic-Con or any convention like that and just be like, "Hey, I'm good."
I would love to hire children with bells and have them dress up medieval things. And you have to show your vaccination card. If you don't, you get assigned a kid that walks behind you, ringing the bell going, unclean. Shame.
Bring out your
Shame.
Sounded like jingle bells.
So everyone knows to avoid them as they walk the halls. Shame.
I fucking love
Oh my
it.
God, screw that. Give him a taser. That'll be more fun.
It's a good opportunity to cosplay your EV suit.
That would be good. Seriously, people walking around like they're disappearing from Kirk. So that would be definitely interesting.
My God, you guys are fun.
Oh, you have no idea.
Thanks.
I can't hear a damn thing.
You okay? You still hear us?
Now it sounds like, going through like into the Death Star. It's like, almost there, almost. I missed this shit.
Little known fact, when the Death Star was destroyed, since it was under construction, it took mostly contractors. Contractors were all killed.
Give me a sec, guys. I'll be right back. I got to figure this damn thing. I love talking to you guys. I mean, you are just like, oh, there we go. I got it.
Yay!
You got it? Is sounding better now?
I thought
Okay.
the aliens abducted him. Have you been anally probed? We have a doctor. We could bring you on board.
More than once, I had hemorrhage surgery.
We should have really got the dots to take him out of his pod
Yes.
Yeah,
rather than
seriously,
have him
dude.
broadcast it in there.
I had my ankle up by my head, and then I had this fucking probe that was in my butt, and I'm like, no man should go through this. And
No, and Heather has the remote for it, so
Yes.
you got to be careful.
I make it
oh, is that
vibrate.
what the buzzing is?
That's what the buzzing is.
Yeah. And when she gets an evil grin and goes, machine gun mode, you're in for a
Oh,
pounding.
my God.
Okay.
I need to have fun somehow.
I thought it was a corn.
No, don't do that. We get some people think it's hot buttered corn night, so that wouldn't go well. Patrick, what do you got for us news-wise?
For news, well, let's see. Recently, Alex Kurtzman was on a podcast, and he mentioned that nothing would make him happier than doing a musical episode of Star Trek Short Treks.
And that would make him happy, though.
Yeah, in the vein of Once More with Feeling from Buffy.
Only if it's like Book of Mormon.
Well,
dear God.
Only if it's like that.
But I just had this news just flash across my pad just moments ago. Simon Pegg has reportedly said that Star Trek 4 is currently in prep.
But it's been in prep for the last 5 years. But that sounds that's good news though. If he's saying that they're working on it actively, that means they've got a plan and they're going to execute. So it's exciting to hear them get the Star Trek 4 of the JJ version, put it together and get it out, because it was good stuff. I like the stuff they were doing. And
the Kelvin timeline was good.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the Kelvin timeline. Just bring me more. I'm all for it.
So what are they going to do with Chekhov?
Well, apparently they're considering bringing in Denai Guerrera from Walking Dead for a role in the new Star Trek.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Maybe she'll replace Chekhov in some fashion. I mean, you can't replace him, but
Yeah, Anton Yelchin.
That would definitely be interesting.
That's my news.
Okay, Rocky, what do you got for us?
Well, sir, we're looking at news from LeVar Burton. He's got a masterclass on storytelling coming out. If you guys have gone on the internet and taken, or at least looked at some of the masterclass lessons that are available out there, it's actually pretty cool stuff. It's paying a little bit of money to get an actual lesson and instruction in some kind of, all kinds of things. They've got from film directors to music producers, and they teach you their craft of what they're doing, showing you their little tricks. Well, LeVar Burton has one coming out on storytelling, and there's 12 lessons in it, and just some of the titles. There's 12 of them, but this is just some of them of the individual lessons involved. Authentic storytelling, connecting with your audience, a case study on roots, importance of oral storytelling, and this one had such a good title. I just said that's the last one I'm going to mention because there's more of them. The imagination is our superpower.
Well, you know what? Oral is always important.
Yeah, I was going to say, you said oral, and you had me at oral. That's all you had to say.
Thank God everyone was on the same page.
You are some dirty mother.
Damn right we are.
But yeah, LeVar, to listen to that guy talk is, if you've been a fan of him over the years, of course, with Reading Rainbow and other projects that he's been involved with, if you ever hear him on interviews, just a wonderful man to talk about stuff. And that's why we're all rah-rah about him getting on Jeopardy, because he's such a good person to be talking.
He's so hypnotic.
Yeah, very good stuff. So I highly recommend this. I'm probably going to sign up for it. I mean, it's a little bit of money, but it's also good stuff to listen to.
And one of the chapters was about his roots. I mean, you always got to dye your roots. You don't want to have dark roots.
Oh my God.
So if it's a dark root, then that's some nice oral right there, right?
Okay.
You mix it with the oral and you're done.
Oh my God. All right. In order to try to gently nudge this back before we offend our senior citizen listeners.
Yeah, nudge it back to oral.
About dyeing their roots.
Bad enough the kids are getting offended.
So seriously.
I don't even think they'd understand what's happening unless they go,
No, you get it. Some guys, but I love snow on my oven. So, but next we're going to get on there. Our guest, what do you got news for us?
So I don't know if I told you about it, but we got Jeremy Roberts as our first interviewee.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country.
Wait a minute. You said Jeremy, but your guest on what? What guest?
Trek Nerd Talk, T.N.T. It's our YouTube channel that's
that's your podcast?
It's our YouTube channel that's in the making right now.
Tell us all about it.
Well, we want to get a hold of Trek people, the actors, but we want to learn more about them than just Trek. We want to learn, the roles that they've played, what led them to being an actor. Because Jeremy, for instance, he was actually a Marine in Vietnam.
Wow. Did not know that.
Outstanding.
It's crazy, but he's been more than happy to talk with us. And, we're doing our interviews. I'm trying to get Jay Underwood right now.
Cool.
That's been kind of crazy because he was in Voyager's The Good Shepherd.
Now, is this an audio podcast or is it video as well?
No, it's video.
Oh, nice.
You got to let us know when you're going to, so we can put you all over our social media so people know where to find you and how to find you and to sign up and everything like that.
Oh, of course.
And since kids aren't listening, so you won't hear this fact. It sounds like it will be kid friendly, but you won't know that because you're not supposed to be listening. If you are, the monkeys are coming right in your ear.
Hey, Steffan, do you want to plug your cousins and their new book?
Oh, David Fitzgerald and Dana Fredsti. Yeah, time. Oh boy. Those guys know how to fucking write. I've read every one of their books.
I've been a fan of Dana's for years. That's how Steffan and I got connected, was because Dana and I interviewed her for a podcast that I'd done once or twice before and on another thing. We met at Comic-Con and became instant friends. And she calls me Vulcan Jesus.
Vulcan Jesus?
Because he can make the dead rise.
Yeah. Did she tell you I was a character in Plague World?
Oh, you were in Plague World? Really?
Yeah, have you read it?
Yeah, of course I read it. Yeah, I have all 3 books signed by her.
You know the biker gang that she ran into?
Right.
That was my club.
Nice.
I was a medic rooster.
That's cool. Yeah, I wish you would do more of the Ashley Parker series, because I mean, I thought that was amazing, but you know, yay Dana. And then Dana and David wrote the Time Shard series, right?
Yes, and those are amazing.
Those are about when time shatters and you can walk from, point A in your house over to where the liquor store used to be, and for some reason or another, the liquor store is now 65,000 years in the past.
Right?
I can also shatter and come.
Whoa. I mean, it was such a good idea, and it's one of those where it just captivates you. And those two, and David's got his own line of books like Nailed and Atheist and whatnot, but still, the way that they write just kind of pulls you in, and it makes you feel like a part of the journey.
Outstanding. Everyone, make sure you go on Amazon, Kindle, or wherever you find physical books as well as ebooks, and look for those titles. It also has Patrick and our Vulcan guest seal of approval. And I, for one, also have read it, and it's extremely entertaining. So make sure you go ahead and do that.
Yeah. I mean, you can download them on, like I said, your Kindle or whatnot. You can order them hardback.
My advice is order the hardback. So this way you come across them at conventions and San Diego Comic-Con, you can get them signed.
Well, I'm going to do another shameless plug here real quick, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
There's also Dana's sister, Lisa Brackman, who is an amazingly talented author as well. I mean, she's helped me with some of my short stories, which I'll release eventually. But
so please make sure you gather those names out there. If you want, hit pause, rewind us for a second. We'll wait. All right. Now that you wrote the names down, make sure you go out there and do that. My little bit of news that we have, for those of you that really like Star Trek, I think one of my favorite episodes was Inner Light, where Picard has the flute. That flute, which is screen use flute, is being auctioned later on this month by a company called the Prop Store. Okay, really? That flute was previously sold at an auction house for $48,000, and it's on sale again. And this time their taking is going to be about $70,000. So if you got any gold press latinum laying around and you want the flute itself, make sure you go ahead and grab it. And it's not the only thing that's going to be for sale up there or for auction in the Prop Store. There's going to be over 1,300 original props, costume, and other items from everything from Aliens, Lords of the Rings, Indiana Jones, and a lot more. Star Trek accounts for like 75 different lots. Everything from the original series all the way through from vintage toys and even pieces of V'ger from the motion picture.
How much can I get for a kidney?
Make sure you guys look at it. It's going to be, auction is going to open on June 29th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Cool.
So now that we've got all of our news articles out of the way, this is Heather's favorite part.
Hi, Captain. So this week's episode is Star Trek Enterprise Season 1, Episode 24, Desert Crossing. It first aired May 8th, 2002. Now, these titles are going to be a little longer than normal. Teaser. Make your life spectacular. I know I did. Summary. After all of the bullshit that they had to go through the last episode, they are totally going to rise to this time, they swear. Archer is looking forward to his happy ending massage, but at that exact moment, they pick up a distress beacon and Archer dies a little inside as he orders T'Pol to go check it out. Risa will have to wait a little longer.
That made me laugh because he did such a good job. Like somebody like slapped the candy bar out of his hand with just like a distressed, oh man. Oh.
The look in his eyes.
Yeah, yes. Like, oh, my shit is packed. Come on, man.
He's like, I even got the book on tantric sex.
Yeah.
The happy ending massage comment right there, just literally, I had to stifle a huge laugh for that. That was awesome.
He was all set for it. He's like, I want a hum job. Damn it.
Yeah, it's like, down, boy. You're not going to the brothel planet.
That was funny.
Oh,
it just goes to show you that you gotta ignore distress signals if you want to get a happy ending.
Yes.
Yeah, no shit. But then what's going to happen, knowing it's like my luck, if I were to do that, is I'd get a massage and she said, you want a happy ending? I'm like, yeah. She hands me an egg roll. And I'm like, all right, thanks. Well, I guess it tastes good. I appreciate that. You got soy sauce?
There was a video, I think it's by Happy or Die, I'm not sure, but it's this guy's in a massage parlor, and she finishes and she looks at him, she goes, do you want the happy ending? And the guy looks at her and she's smiling. He goes, okay, sure. And she goes, $50. So he pays her $50. She goes and hits a button, and these clowns come in. They start throwing confetti, there's balloons and everything. Damn it.
You get a happy ending.
So that was funny.
He's pretty happy, but your dick was out.
Yeah,
What's up with that?
So it wasn't quite what he intended. So that was funny.
When the cops come in, they're like, what's going on here? Oh, nothing, but why is your dick out?
Like clown job.
Oops, sorry. I forgot to zip
It's like,
that up.
wait, yeah, right? It's like clown porn. What the hell's going on here?
Like we're playing ring toss.
Well, no, they were just adjusting their shirt. You know, that's what Giuliani said. Just adjusting the shirt.
Oh, God.
Oh, dear God, right?
Yeah, but Giuliani had a microscope and tweezers with him, so.
It looked more like a swelled up clitoris.
Oh, my God.
I thought it was an angry seahorse, but
Wait, is that your dick? I think so.
I mean, I had all these wonderful little notes about how he's packing his North American regionals from 2034 gym bag.
oh yeah, that bag. Yep.
And I love when he does his logs. He's always talking to Porthos, even though he's recording a log. I thought that's the cutest moment of it all. But you guys had to go and make it super dirty, and I love that too.
Well, he was
Is there
playing.
any other way? I mean, seriously.
He was playing with his log.
Right?
Come on, Rocky.
Captain's log. Well, flush it.
You guys missed the beginning of it where you totally saw him put in the bag as the strap on. So
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yes.
Is that the one that Heather has the remote to as well?
Yes.
I think so.
Oh,
You
great.
know
You got
it.
2 remotes. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate that.
Oh,
That's got Wi-Fi.
I have a whole secret room.
Now I know why I wake up going.
And with one of them, she has nitrous oxide attached to it. So, all right, I
great.
guess we can move on to Act 1.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Captain. Act 1. Cricket is basically baseball on Valium. Valium. How do you say that?
Sounds about right. Valium,
Okay.
Valium.
It sounds so weird to me.
Not volume, but Valium.
Valium.
You said it. You said it right accidentally on purpose, just like
Yes.
sometimes.
And it's not cricket, it's lacrosse.
Is that what they call that?
Oh, well, just wait. I have another word for it.
Okay.
So they locate the ship broken down on the side of the road, and it's Starfleet AAA to the rescue. The owners, Zabral, is so thankful he invites them back to his house for dinner and games. And if they say no, he is easily offended. So Archer reluctantly agrees. Then he suckers Trip into going with him, even though Trip hates the desert and has a ton of work to do. They go down to yet another planet full of white people, and they blend right in with their 90s baseball caps. And what an experience it turns out to be. In the first round of this Fear Factor-like event, Archer and Trip are forced to eat goat balls and drink coagulated blood for dinner. The second round involves sand dune Quidditch, which you know they will be digging sand out of their asses for weeks. Back on Enterprise, T'Pol gets a phone call from this creepy guy who is threatening that she will never see her people again. And plot twist, Zabral is a terrorist. Bum, bum, bum.
Well, you know what? That blood soup that they were served, it takes balls to eat that.
Well, it takes balls to eat the balls, too.
It's coagulated blood. That's disgusting.
They had to eat it with balls.
Did they say it was goat balls?
Yeah.
He said it was
Yes.
the male essence.
It was the essence.
The male essence of what? what? I'm like, the male essence of what?
It's Rocky Mountain oysters. Who the hell eats
Yeah.
testicles? I mean, my ex-wife
Basically,
did, but
That's
whatever.
right.
But that was for pleasure.
No, it really wasn't. She drained the fuck out of me.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I noticed that Archer really went after those balls. He really was chomping at the bit right there.
He figured, well, what the fuck? I'm going to Riser after this. I need all the help I can get.
But
Right?
Trip,
Get as much testosterone as you can, even though it's not yours.
Trip was a nibbler. Trip did not go all in. He was nibbling at the balls.
Trip
Well,
doesn't
I mean-
like the desert. That means he
Seriously.
doesn't like STLV because we are the desert.
Well, I don't blame him.
Well, because he said he was not happy about having to drink recycled sweat and eat snake meat the last time he were in the Australian outback.
I
so
wasn't happy that they had their shirts off.
I was.
Like, I was like, put your shirts back on. You were.
Patrick was happy.
I was. What are you talking about?
Heather, I need a female perspective on this real quick. Because
Okay.
we already know the guys don't like balls. Not even their own sometimes. I mean, I
do.
play with mine. Don't get me wrong. Well, maybe you do, but
I grew up watching Top Gun, so I instantly heard the soundtrack. Playing with them boys.
I can never remember. Is it Sex Pistols or AC/DC that sings
Big balls?
I like big balls. Yeah, you like
that's
big balls.
AC/DC.
Who's got
AC/DC.
the biggest
Big balls.
balls
Balls
of
of
them
the
all?
ball.
I love it. I love
Right?
it.
So, I mean, as a female perspective, tell me about balls.
They're really good with tea.
They're really, really good with cheese.
Did the last person that pissed Heather off, she actually detached them, and we walked in, and it's like, that's a weird tea bag. She goes, no, it was that guy that was annoying me. It's his balls. Don't worry about it. Doctor's going to grow them back for him.
Well,
Exactly.
that's where teabagging came from.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
Really? Let me dunk them. I thought she said cheese at first, so I'm like, what, from under cheese? I mean, what, did you get the cheese from under his nuts? I mean, seriously, what the hell?
That's what happens when you don't shower.
Yeah, right?
No, and I agree with Tucker being in the middle of the desert. I was stationed out in the desert, and you go like how the fuck did sand get behind my testicles?
Yes.
I didn't take
Right.
anything off, but
Yes.
sand is in my taint and my crack of my. How the hell did that even happen? But yeah, so I don't blame him.
I know.
It gets everywhere.
Yeah,
It ain't funny.
Dude,
It gets in between your toes. It gets like
gets
literally.
everywhere.
I did not know I had a fucking skin fold there until I had to fucking dig sand out of it. That's when you know you've been in a desert.
and we spent 2 weeks on the Samara Offensive in like 05 or 04. And I kid you not, all we had to drink was like bad powdered Gatorade, MREs, and smell each other in a fucking Humvee.
yeah, that stuff is nasty.
And next thing you know, you come out and you go to wipe your ass and
There's sand.
you're looking down. It's like, is that feta or is that cheddar?
It's
Okay, I've lost my
pretty-
appetite
pretty
now.
bad. Yeah.
You're never going to eat cheese the same way, are you?
Yeah. But, the one saving grace about this part is Clancy Brown.
Yeah.
He's got such a marvelous, like, here, be able to enjoy this. And his voice is just so.
What's with his voice in this episode? He says very rah, rah,
Is that how he normally sounds? I
No.
gotta watch our stuff.
Yeah, his voice is, he can go lower.
Because he's like, yes, come over and I have hospitality for you. You know, eat my
if you-
Come
food.
here, you.
If you listen to him in Highlander, it's a similar type of timbre for his voice. He can lower it. And he also in Starship Troopers, when he was the drill instructor, Zim,
Yeah.
his voice is about the same, but it's still very resonant.
It wasn't quite as gravelly in Starship Troopers, if I remember.
Put your hand up.
Yeah, really. Put your hand up.
All right.
So,
Oh, don't put your
Yeah.
hand up.
The enemy cannot push the grenade if his hand does not work.
Oh man.
That guy is
Something
fucking
else.
epic. Love it.
yeah, and the way he did his little nose to the air, it's like, I am easily offended. He did that little pouty chin up in the air thing.
Dude.
Yeah, what was with the passive aggressive bullshit between with him saying, yeah, I'm easily offended, and then Archer going to Tucker, I thought you'd want to spend some time with your captain. It's like,
yeah. Bullshit.
Yeah, that was kind of.
Bullshit.
It didn't really seem to be him.
No,
It's all about the guilt trip.
Dude.
seriously, he knows that Tucker is his ride or die bitch. That's why he wanted him with him.
If that guy said said I'm easily offended, my response would have been, sucks to be you. Bye, bitch.
Suck it, motherfucker.
I got a happy ending massage to go get.
I'm like,
No shit.
I'm like, you're easily offended? Well, go fuck yourself. I got shit to do.
Exactly.
And I like to say, have a sucker, motherfucker.
Yep.
But it's kind of neat, and they use, like Heather said, it was Quidditch, but it looked more like what's the hell is the name?
Lacrosse.
Yeah.
Cricket?
Yeah, lacrosse.
Well, almost.
Oh,
Not
lacrosse.
even
It was it's another name, Chila, or whatever. They got a thing which is similar to lacrosse, I guess.
Yeah.
With it, and it would look like it was fun. They were honestly having a lot of fun.
It looked like some good offensive play there when you get to knock somebody over.
Yeah, and then you got that asshole got on, and he gave me asshole vibes as soon as he was on with Paul. It's like, where you guys? We know you guys went down there.
Oh, the Chancellor.
Like, they're not going to leave the Chancellor.
He was such a creep.
Yeah, I didn't like the way he was running his shit. It was very annoying.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm going to sound like a man right now, but you give me 4 seconds with the Paul, and I'll give her 4 seconds of pleasure.
Like I used to say, I'll give you the best 4 seconds of your life.
Right? It's funny. It's like, who are you going to please with that? Me?
It's like,
I think Archer got more than 4 seconds of pleasure from the work of art that Zabral gave him from the Shuttlepod. Did you see his face when he gave him that? He was like, bitch.
He could have had the tapestry. He should have went with the big ass tapestry.
Right, because he's like,
no shit, right?
He's like, you're giving me Shuttlepod art? And he's like thinking, what the hell's going on here, homie?
I've been fighting these motherfuckers for a while. Fuck you.
It's like, yeah, I would have took the rug because it would give Porthos somewhere to lay on.
Exactly.
Or somewhere to pee on.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It doesn't take up that much space when you roll them up. I mean, come on. So I would have totally gone for the tapestry.
You know, I can tell you one thing that I thought was fucking hilarious was in the first Star Trek movie, the new one, the Kelvin timeline, is when Scotty said that he beamed up Admiral Archer's prize beagle.
Oh, yeah, when he lost it.
Yeah. And I heard that, and I'm just like, oh, you're throwing in some shit like that. All right, cool.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
down,
he
bro.
lost it. They still don't know where that beagle is.
I know. And he still feels very sad about it.
Yeah, still. Yeah,
Whoops.
that was
Yeah, that was a
strange.
bad acting. Sorry.
Yeah, but there was a nice cliffhanger if you watched it with commercials or not without commercials, because when T'Pol says, hey, Clancy Brown is a terrorist, and then you're like, wait, what? He didn't seem like a terrorist. He just wants to keep giving shit away. But you get some cultures that are like that. For the hospitality, if you want something, they'll do their best to give it to you. If you eat and you don't leave a little bit of food on your plate, that means they didn't feed you enough. And if you didn't burp, that means you didn't enjoy it. So there's a whole bunch of different cultures around it.
It's like, it reminded me of going to my buddy's house. I'd always go to my buddy's house in high school, and I always wanted to just go there and watch movies with him. Or he had a really cool guitar setup, so he'd crank that sucker up. That was a whole bunch of fun. But his mother was always trying to feed us something. Doesn't matter, any time of the day. His mother would always be coming in. Oh, you want some spaghetti? I got some extra spaghetti. I'm like, I just got back from school. I'm not hungry. Oh, here, have some. You look starving. I'll get you fed.
That's Italian.
Yeah,
I can tell you right off the bat, that's Italian. Family.
Damn right it was. Yeah, she's Italian.
My friend was like that.
Yeah.
It's like, come, sit down. You're making the house poor. Come, I'll fix you something. No, I'm only here for Joe. But it's quick. I put it in the microwave. You can go. No, honest, I'm only here for a second. Oh, you're so thin. Come eat. Sit, manja. No, I'm just picking up Joe. And Joe come outside. Ma, will you shut up? Come on. Let's go.
Exactly, right?
Oh, my God. Yeah, I had a soldier of mine. She's Turkish. And every time I come over, she'd look at me. She's like, you're skinny. And I mean, yeah, I'm skinny. But she's like, I'm going to make you meatballs. And I don't know what she used or how the hell she did it, but I would leave there like gaining an extra 20 pounds with an extra 20 pounds of meatballs in the freezer.
Yeah, they're quick. They know how to do it really fast. I will say, and they're good.
Yeah, she always fed me.
What's from the Rapper's Delight when you go to your friend's house to eat and food just ain't no good? The macaroni sour, the peas are mush, and the
chicken tastes like
and
wood.
The chicken tastes like wood.
Yeah.
Like, stop feeding me. I can't eat enough. She's like, no, you can. And she almost force-fed me one time.
We're going to move to the next section here.
Right.
Since Patrick did the Rapper's Delight. So go ahead.
Hi, Captain.
White boy rapping. What's up?
Act 2, reality. What a concept. T'Pol calls Archer and tells him Zabral is a terrorist and they need to leave immediately. Archer goes back to the group and makes an excuse to go home, but Zabral knows that T'Pol and the phone call happened and what he said, and remember, he is easily offended. So now Archer and Trip are stuck on his couch, rolling their eyes as they listen to Zabral bitch and complain about all of his grievances. Their minds are completely blown when out of nowhere, Zabral tells a story about a Suleiman who told this incredible tale about Enterprise, the Rambo of the skies, who will fight armies and save everyone, including Zabral. Say what? Luckily, the gods heard Archer and Trip when they started thinking, oh God, kill me now, because that's when the death missiles were launched. Archer and Trip hide in a bunker, but that doesn't last too long when they are blown to smithereens by a bomb. Actually, it was blown open by a bomb. They weren't blown to smithereens. I should correct that. Archer screams, fuck this shit, as they run out into the desert to escape.
Let's run out into the desert when you've got a perfectly good shuttlecraft sitting there and you leave it.
Oh my God.
Yes. That was like, don't leave the car, stay with the car. I mean, come on, guys.
I mean, that's where the supplies are at, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing is, it was a target. So if it was a target, I'd be like, well, just fucking get up and move it. You don't have to launch it like high altitude. Just fucking
just skim across the desert.
Drive away from the explosions. That's all you had to do.
You're going to go a lot faster in that thing than you are with your feet.
Instead, they go for a fucking walk.
But the desert's more fun. It adds more to,
oh my God,
die, as opposed to, I've got AC.
Yeah, you know what? I would go for the AC in the shuttle. I don't care if they launch missiles at me.
Damn right.
If it was daytime, they would not have run out into that desert. And that fucking walk, I swear to God, unless you have a death wish, anyone listening, if you have a death wish, do what Archer did and go run out into the desert like that. Because
there you go.
God.
I mean, the lesson that Archer was trying to say is, didn't you look as we were landing how close the next settlement was? I was looking as we were landing. He kind of mentioned that. But the problem with that is it's like going to Vegas where he's like, I saw that hotel over there. It looks really close. It's like a block or two away. We're going to go right to it.
Yeah, right. My ass.
40 minutes later, you're walking to it and yet still not any closer.
Well, he's Starfleet Academy. He's the first class of Starfleet Academy. So I don't think they had the class where they took him all out to Death Valley for training yet. Like he wasn't.
He had the class where they took him out to Vegas and was like, hey, there's a win. Oh, wait, no, we're too far.
First off, the things that pissed me off is, one, not only the fact that they decided to go out in the middle of the desert with barely no water and left a perfectly good shuttlecraft. I was also pissed in the last section when they were playing Quidditch with no shirt on.
They were the only ones without shirts on, right?
Yeah.
That's the instant fire way to get burnt to a crisp so quick and everything.
Thank you.
Like, white boys, hello.
Thank you.
It's like, I would tell you, if any of my men walked around with the Rambo wife beater, I would beat the crap out of them.
Yeah, no shit, right?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, don't you understand?
Yeah, they didn't put sunscreen lotion on.
No.
They didn't do anything like that. They should be tomatoes. They should be lobsters right now.
Thank you.
They started to look a little burnt once they get to the next section and they've been walking around out day in the sun, but they should have been that burnt the second they played that game.
Thank you.
They should have been that burnt in the first minute.
Yeah, first words out of my mouth was, where's your fucking cover? Why are you walking around bald-headed?
Mm-hmm.
You need to have something on your head.
Dude, I'm Norwegian. I burn in the moonlight. What are you talking
It's like,
about?
seriously. And they're out there and it's like, okay,
man.
now you're walking in the middle of the desert with no weapons and with a little fanny pack of water?
Yeah, what the hell were they expecting?
Where's your backpacks? They should have a backpack full of water. What the hell?
Archer's the reason why they now have that survival class in the Death Valley. He's the reason why they have that.
Thanks a lot, Archer.
I believe that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
And then they walk all, it's like, oh my God, seriously? But I will give them credit.
You take a little sip of water that's like eating a little blade of grass. And then you're like, yeah, I'm hydrated for about a month. Yeah, whatever. It's like, fuck you. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I got to admit, though, if I would give thumbs up, because it was cool when they're hiding around in the hole and it's raining dirt on them. It's like, Jesus Christ, this sucks. And the second they go out and then the building is not there. That is some cool shit. That was fucked
cool.
up. But
that was pretty
oh
awesome.
my God. And it was a very easy production trick, just shoot coming out of a hole somewhere else. But there's no buildings around. I'm like, oh my God, they blew the fuck out of the building and we're still here.
Right. Well, at least they kept it consistent.
And after all of this, Archer says because maybe I'm wrong, but they don't seem like terrorists to me. I'm like, oh my fucking, I'm gonna freaking wring this guy's fucking neck. I swear to God.
When he pulled down the blanket and holy shit, there's all the arsenal right there in one place.
What the fuck, over?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a terrorist to me.
And then you get that other guy, first off, he confirmed his status as asshole. You got people down there? Oh, I'm going to bomb the shit out of them anyway. Who gives a fuck?
What the hell?
Yeah.
You want to start a war? That's the first way you start one with me, because I would have busted out Enterprise's phasers on their ass.
Right? It's like, oh, you're peaceful. All right, boom, 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 boom. Fuck off. Have a nice day.
It's like, I got people there. So?
And? Your problem is...
Wow.
You want to see your defense satellites start to explode? Just keep it up, fucker.
And my mind was blown when Zorbal said that, we knew about the whole Sulaban detention center and we heard you guys were Rambos and you could save us. And that's why we decided to stage that ship breaking down in order to manipulate you, to get you to come over here to help us win the war. And I'm like, excuse me, say what? That's a hell of a fucking manipulation.
That's where a phaser comes in handy.
I thought you said soreballs.
Yeah.
Soreballs.
Soreballs. You did that?
That was really...
Isn't that what we ate for dinner?
Oh my God, that's his new name. I'm going to call him Soreballs from now on.
That was a future catfishing expedition they did.
There you go.
You guys are fucking awesome.
It was. It was a future scam. It totally was. The future Nigerian prince right there.
Oh, man.
Oh, dear God.
Enterprise is coming. Enterprise is coming. Let's break some shit.
I have $4 million, but I need some help with it.
Oh, man.
Can you give me some help?
Next section, I think we're ready for. Are we ready for that?
Aye, Captain.
Yes,
I mean, we kind of glossed over the whole history part of the history lesson we got, where he's talking about being forced to wear those cloaks and they called them stand-aparts. I mean, like, geez, they were doing some bad stuff, and they said the day they were set free, they burned those suckers in the streets. So they essentially burned their bras in the streets because they were free, but they really still weren't. And they're like, who is the real terrorist now? That I love that Star Trek is bringing that level of stuff to it, because it really does make you think about what's going on.
That was good.
You have to really pay attention to the episode, otherwise you don't get the dictatorshipness of
nuance.
Yeah, you don't get the fact that they were living under some kind of a dictatorship, like living under Putin, for example.
Right. Yeah. You can't. You're not seeing what's going on and how bad it is. So, I mean, they were brought there to play some volleyball and eat some balls. But there's a whole nother story going on here.
Yeah. So you really have to pay attention.
You kind of got a hint of it, but nothing else. But I do have one other question real quick. I can burn my bra? Really?
I do it all the time.
Patrick burned his a while ago.
Well, if your man boobs are big enough that you need a bra, then
Bras just suck, period.
I got middies. What the hell?
Yeah, Patrick was yelling like, "Oh my God, I got nipple chafe," and he burned his the first time we ran across the street to the convention.
I was really, really excited that in 2058 they just ended up saying every single person on this earth could walk around with no shirt, no top, no bra, no nothing, just totally free form, and everything's cool and everyone's good with that. I'm so happy they changed it to that.
Took long enough.
That'd be nice.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to see me naked. Look like a polar bear trying to hump a fucking walrus.
So, in other words, it's entertaining.
It is.
Oh, damn.
All they hear is grr, 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 and then
God, the noises.
and then I get sued by the walrus. I mean, come on, man. You were there.
He did.
It was consensual. I heard that you sound like...
That's one thing Pornhub never shows is all of the noises you make during sex. And I swear to God, it sounds like
all the body sounds.
Just all the body sounds.
Oh,
It
yeah.
sounds like a fucking whoopee cushion half the time.
Oh, totally.
It's totally different when they redub the audio versus getting the actual sound. You can tell.
And I can always tell.
Yeah, I mean, no, it was funny. I went to school with when I was down at MMI in Arizona, Motorcycle Mechanics Institute. I went to school with, she was a porn star. And number one, she was talking to one of the younger kids, and he was like, look, she looked at him and was like, hey, I bet you I've seen more pussy than you have.
Oh.
Number two, she's like, by the way, It doesn't always sound that way. We just dub that in.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's different noises. There's different sounds.
Yeah,
and
it sounds like a butt cheek hitting a mirror.
No, and nobody talks about the release of gas when you've been going at it for so long.
God.
So
Yes.
it's just like, what the hell was that?
Especially, orgies are really popular on Pornhub, and they never show that on an orgy, but,
No, they
Well,
don't.
yeah, at the same time.
It's all about microphone placement.
No.
Mm-hmm.
kind of like fishing in the same pond.
Only good thing about it, when Rocky decides to go down the hall and not wearing his pants, you can always tell because he's got like a snail trail that follows him for his thing hitting the ground and drags along the ground. So.
Well, you can always tell. You can always tell the porn stars if they're cheerleaders. They're the ones that stick to the ground when they do the splits.
You can always tell when I'm walking down the hallway because I just fart like crazy from all the orgies I do.
I honestly thought those were the Tribbles.
Anyway.
Well, let's see. I'm all right.
I thought those were the Tribbles.
I am so.
I mean, are we doing a Pornhub podcast or are we doing a Star Trek podcast?
Okay.
Yeah, well, I don't know, but right now I think she needs like a Febreze butt hanger.
Well, we have all of those in the escape pod, so that way in case we die in there, it'll smell good.
Well, yeah, that's why I survived, I guess.
Well, speaking about smelling good, let's go to the next act.
Aye, Captain.
Hi, sir.
Moving on to Act 3. Sand. It's everywhere. Enterprise is having trouble with the planet's government as they scramble their communications and cock-block their efforts to rescue Archer and Trip. Zobral was able to sneak through, and T'Pol convinces him to help them rescue Archer and Trip. Meanwhile, on the planet, the sun has risen, and Archer learns real fast how brutal the desert really can be. Trip suffers the worst of it, and he almost dies from heat stroke, but thankfully they find shelter where they can get away from the sun and the heat.
I was just waiting for these guys to run into C-3PO and R2-D2.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of time. It was like, oh no!
Or what was that giant monster that lived in the sand that they
Sarlacc monster?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
like, yeah. Where you digested over 10,000 years?
Yeah.
Was that when they buried each other in the sand?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
That was Return of the Jedi, where
Yeah, Star Wars.
they were supposed to throw Han Solo in,
Oh,
but
okay.
through Boba Fett actually got caught in there, and then there was Lando Calrissian was caught around by his leg, and then Han Solo was getting his vision back and shot him.
Yeah,
Not that I know anything about that.
you just said Star Wars, so my brain turned off. I don't know any of that.
Yeah, when I say Star Wars to my wife, she's just like, Star what? She's a Trekkie. So, I mean, that's why I love her, too.
But it was good to show that at least they had the presence of mind to know that if a ship came, it wasn't going to be one of theirs. And they buried themselves.
I love that Trip could
sand.
hear it from that far off so much quicker than Archer did because
Well, because he was
must have a
high.
Yeah.
Is that why? Is it your
Yeah.
hearing gets better when you're high?
Well, he's also an engineer. He's used to hearing weird sounds and stuff on the deck. He could tell what's wrong.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I could imagine
I'm a
them.
science officer, and I can tell you right now, it's I'm deaf as a fucking doorknob.
What?
I'm a science officer, and I'm deaf as a doorknob. What?
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 Huh?
All right, I just got it. Thank you. Dun-dun-dun.
It was so cute, though, because they were like burying each other in the sand. I'm like, oh, look, this is what it would look like if they went to Risa on the beach. They're really wanting to go to Risa.
Oh, yeah, that's cute.
Yeah, except without any pussy.
They're definitely gonna
Yeah.
avoid the beaches.
And he recognized the fact that Tucker was going to heat exhaustion because, yeah, when your body gets overworked like that, overheated like that, you can't cool yourself down. You can't do anything. But they must be made of stern stuff. Most people, they get heat exhaustion. If the medic doesn't come, as you will advise, they're usually dead really pretty quick.
Well, when I went to Magic Mountain, was it last week? I was
Jealous.
I was down for like 2 days. I mean, like I was really exhausted the next day too. I mean, just the heat. It was 100 degrees, man.
Yeah, heat exhaustion takes a lot of first warning sign. If you pee and it comes out mud yellow, that means you're pretty much done.
Get some
It's
fluids.
almost done.
Second warning sign, if you're Archer and you think that's drinkable if you boil it, you're fucking delusional.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right.
Tell that to Bear Grylls.
Well played, madam. Well played.
He found water, and it's like we can drink
I
it.
mean, it is water, but you don't want to drink the.
No, It's like,
just because it's liquid doesn't mean it's drinkable, Archer. Come on.
Is it all right to drink my own pee? No, because it's sterile and I don't like it.
the thing is that thing place has been there, it looks like, for a long time, and it's in the middle of the desert. How the hell did they still have standing water in it?
Why did it not evaporate?
Yeah, exactly. It would not have been there.
Oh, wait, no. Hold on a second. There is a very reasonable answer for that. It's called a trailer.
Yeah, it's a trailer for somebody. So
Yeah.
obviously they had it. It was probably for Wasteland. Wasteland just pulled out 2 weeks ago.
In between cuts, they're just like trailer.
So I'll tell you what, as a person who lives in the desert, like born and raised in Las Vegas, lives in the desert all my life, I've been out in the freaking actual desert, in the sun at 110 degrees. There is water there. Like there is some certain areas where there's water there. And I guarantee you do not want to drink the fucking water. Like even boiling, if you find any liquid out in the desert, that's not drinkable. Like there's a lot of bacteria and crap. Okay, let me put it this way. If you go out to the hot springs, which, everyone's like, oh, fun. There's a bacteria in that water that if it gets in your nose or your eyes or your mouth, then it eats your brain.
Yep.
Okay.
So is that what happened to Nathan?
No, I think that's what happened with Archer, because that dude is.
Don't even think about if it gets in your dick hole, but.
Yeah.
Then you're having blood soup for lunch.
Wow, we just took a serious turn on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, all right, I'm just going to shove this water in my fucking pee hole and call it a day.
And people go in there and they sit in there like it's a sauna or it's a little, spa.
Blood soup for lunch.
Hey, there you go. Human soup, for crying out loud.
Stupidness.
Okay, so switching gears, what I really found was interesting was Hoshi bringing up to T'Pol about Vulcans meeting humans for the first time in Bozeman, Montana, and why was it in the United States that they chose to
That, such a good point. Such a good point. I loved that. That was.
I mean, it is a good point, but that's where the warp signature led him to.
Yeah. Well, the point, though, being is that they chose the United States, obviously, because the warp signature was there. But that could have created conflict with Russia, with China, with Europe.
Yeah, there's so many countries on this one planet, and we're not united.
Right. So it'd be like, well, why did you choose them and not us? It could have been this source of major conflict.
I mean, if the space aliens come over and make friends with us and they don't land in Area 51, well, like what if they happen to land in Italy or something? I mean, what's going to happen?
Well, then they like spaghetti.
Right. Spaghetti for everyone, except, you're in America. You don't get to talk with the aliens.
Right. But the argument goes back to is that, so the Vulcans detected the warp signature, right?
Mm-hmm.
In First Contact that Zefram Cochrane did, and then traced it back to its origin, which was Montana. So they were just tracing back. They didn't know about the politics of Earth at the time, so who gives a shit?
Well, yeah, but the people on the other side of the planet might give a shit.
Right. And they're not going to know. They're not going to
it gets
Russia.
really, really complicated really quickly.
It is complicated,
Yeah.
but I mean, if you look at it more simplistic than anything else, is you could say the same thing. It's like, look, if Russia had a warp signature that they launched, then they'd be being in Russia.
What's going to happen is Canada is going to get them because they're so polite. So the Canadians are going to get the aliens because they're nice guys.
Yeah, there you go. Let's just launch something out of Canada.
We're going to be shutting our borders because we don't want none of that. Meanwhile, Canada's going to get enlightened and get warp drive and all that good stuff.
And there's nothing simplistic about humanity.
They're going to get the Vulcans and everything else. They're going to be like, all right, live long and prosper, and can I get another beer?
Right?
All right. Next slide.
I didn't say the one that got. I didn't say the line that died, so it wasn't me. So that's good.
Yeah, but this is also where you get to find out the guy. What'd you call him, Heather? Zoballs?
Oh, sore balls.
Yeah, sore balls. That's where you realize that Soreballs really isn't a terrorist, because he came up to say, "Hey, your captain's fucking missing, and I can help you find him." So
he was a little reluctant, but yeah.
This episode is a precursor to the Prime Directive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Which, by the way, 11 months on the job and you still haven't gotten around to writing the procedures of how to do what you're doing.
First Contact, yeah.
He's got so many logs in front of Porthos he's got to do. There's no time to actually write protocols.
That's what it is.
He's operating on, was it less than 3% efficiency because their pipes are backed up.
Right.
Paul already told him that.
Good point.
Once he has that done.
When my pipes are backed up, I can't do squat.
Seriously. So that's why why what happens after they get to Risa, right? Archer will stand up and go, "These pipes are clean."
Cabin boy reference.
That's
Love
right. And he'll be set. So,
all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to have to say goodbye. I got the wife out here, and thank you.
oh, they're picking you up for your ship. Outstanding. Well, thank you so much. And before you go, this is a pause. We're going to put a pin in it for a second. Tell us once again what podcast you're doing.
Trek Nerd Talk.
And where can we find such a wonderful thing?
It'll be on YouTube here within the next couple of weeks.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for joining us. Rocky, could you get the dots to push his pod back out into space?
All right, we'll
so
get the
his
dots on.
wife's ship can get it. Thank you.
Yeah, and don't worry about the sand. Just throw the sand out there.
Thanks, Steffan.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a privilege and an honor, and God, I love your sense of humor.
Thank you for being on.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steffan.
Thank you for having me. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Wait, why the fuck are you bringing me sand, Doc? I don't need the sand from the guy's pod.
I said push the sand out the cargo bay with him, not bring it
sand
in.
The Doc just brought me double fistful of sand.
Oh.
I can still hear you.
Did anybody do a count on the Tribbles? I think we're missing one.
I think I saw a couple rolling around, but they had sand in their fur, so they were throwing sand. I swear that sand gets everywhere.
I have sand in my taint right now, so hold on.
See, I knew
That's where the Tribble went.
The Tribble went there. So, oh wait, is that the one we nicknamed Taint Hunter? Good luck.
I'll go scrub it out real quick. Thanks again, guys. Have a good day.
Sure.
Bye.
Thanks,
All right, bye.
And there he goes.
Well, Act 4.
Yep.
Yeah. These guys should be sunburned to a crisp, and the water's not good for them. Okay.
No.
Yeah. Act 4.
Act 4. Okay. Time is the best teacher. Unfortunately, it kills all of its students. Archer decides to start a campfire because it's not hot enough already. So that way they can boil the mystery liquid or, quote, water that they found. The gods must have been watching because they sent the missiles over there immediately, forcing them to abandon that horrible water and run. Meanwhile, Soreballs and T'Pol and Reed scout the area looking for Archer and Trip when they see the bombs too. Changing their direction, they head for the missiles.
Okay, this was actually pretty exciting and frightening at the same time because they're minding their own business and they're boiling their really disturbing water. So it feels like, okay, maybe they're going to survive. Maybe they're going to make it just fine. And then aside from Trip having serious health issues at the moment, I think they locked in on their infrared because they saw the fire and they started launching their weaponry. And thank God they don't.
That's what did it.
Thank God they can't aim with the damn and hit it right on the first try because
they're stormtroopers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But so that was kind of frightening because it's like, okay, well, gosh darn it, they can see us. We got to run for our lives. Then you start running, and it's only the explosions get closer and closer and closer. That was kind of terrifying. Yeah,
that whole first part of that Act 4, it was a single shot that lasted 3 minutes and 41 seconds without any cuts.
Wow.
That was surprising. That little note, I saw that in Memory Alpha, and they said in all of Star Trek, that was the longest shot.
Oh, wow.
I'm like,
that was pretty cool.
Really? I can't believe that.
That was pretty cool.
That was amazing. So it's an entire scene acted out like that, and they didn't cut it once. And it's just Trip and Archer sitting around talking about the drumsticks warp reactor.
Well, there's a couple of things which I liked about this part. Two, it shows that Archer understands what happens when shock gets in. When you have somebody who's wounded and they ask you how bad it is, you never fucking tell them the truth. You tell them it's like, oh, it's nothing. It's a tiny hole. Meanwhile, you can put your head in or look around the innards, because shock is going to really kill them. So he's taking his mind off of it. It's like, well, what do you want to eat? Let's talk about T'Pol's ass. Let's do this. Anything to keep his mind off how bad the situation is.
I mean, it was like the road trip game, right? That was a geography game. That's like something you play when you're in like a long car ride.
Yeah, exactly. He's trying to keep him engaged and active.
I have an Easter egg for that too. So that geography game that you're talking about, it was almost verbatim taken from a deleted scene that was initially intended to be in the episode Fight or Flight. And in the earlier version of the scene, it was Archer and Mayweather playing the game.
Oh.
But they were using the same location cited in the deleted scene.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That was kind of cool. they can take a scene and, well, gosh, you really wrote this awesome scene. We just don't have any time for it in the episode, or somebody didn't like it, or it just didn't fit right. I love that they could take that and copy and paste it into a whole nother episode and still keep it in there, because it was a really cool little scene, and it was neat seeing. It's a good survival technique, because remember, kids, before there were iPods and phones everywhere, you'd have to actually think of some shit to do when there's nothing else to do.
I spy with my little eye.
Right.
I remember when we would just go out in the neighborhood and just see what we could, what trouble we could get into.
Oh, yeah. We did a lot of that. And believe me, if there was a building going up, we were all in that. So just to defend a little bit on the people firing the mortar, coming from an experience with mortars aren't exactly dialed in right off the bat. Mm-hmm. You have a spotter. So when you fire a mortar, the spotter tells you, all right, that's like 2 fingers off. And then they have to adjust it. Then it goes, okay, that's still not quite. You got to adjust
Literally,
it.
you dial it in. You dial the dial until it, go a couple clicks the other way. There you go. Nailed his ass.
Yep. And that's what happens. And
they kept running. That's what happened.
Yep. And if you're on the receiving end of it, which you hope you never are, it sounds like a giant is walking towards you.
Oh, wow. But basically, video games are a great training tool then.
Yeah, same sort of thing. If you launch the rocket and you miss, you just tweak it a little bit the other way and maybe you get them that time.
Yep, try again.
Yeah.
Kentucky windage, But yet T'Pol and Sorballs are looking, they're like, I don't know where they are. They don't leave footprints in the desert. It's like, where are they? They're firing at somebody. Well, nothing else fucking lives out here. It's got to be your captain.
Must be them. Yeah, let's go.
Who's Sorballs? What?
Sorballs.
Sorballs to the rescue.
Instead of Zobral.
And then when they clue him in, it sounded like somebody told him Santa Claus committed suicide. No, there was no big prison break. There wasn't armies.
Yeah.
There was only like a handful of people.
Yeah.
And they what?
It wasn't Rambo. It wasn't Rambo. It was just fucking Archer, and they just broke a couple people out, and it wasn't like thousands of people. It was a couple people.
Are you kidding? It wasn't Rambo. It was a Negro.
Jeez.
It was no.
And Reed's like, and desert strategy. We don't know desert strategy. I'm the strategy guy. We don't know that.
Yeah, seriously. I'm the one who rescued them. What are you talking about? You should have tried to catfish me.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And now we know why Archer has a chef too, because he is a horrible cook, just like me. He left an empty skillet on the fire. Just left it there.
Oh, nothing worse than scorched metal. That scorched metal smell is going to be all over the desert for a long time.
Yep.
Was Heather here? Oh my God.
Yeah, exactly.
I smell scorched metal and farts.
I just like,
Just a sec, I got to go down this hall real quick.
Oh God.
It's like, oh no.
And lunch, no more. I'm not even gonna talk about the drumsticks and thighs now. Jeez. The 8 major components of a warp reactor. No, that's not what you think, sir.
That's funny. I was going to ask you that afterwards. Yeah. But they did do a drive-by and they pick him up. And so they actually kind of get out of there.
And T'Pol goes right to Trip. She starts giving him some water, bringing him back.
You noticed that?
Yeah, I noticed that.
That was kind of like
She found something to take care of, and she's like, I'm going to take care of this.
It's like, fuck you, Captain. I'm going after my man.
She instantly recognized who needed the medical attention first and logically chose the person that needed it first.
But so who's up at the ship then? Because if Archer and Trip and Reed and T'Pol are all gone.
It's Hoshi.
Merriweather.
Yeah.
Merriweather or Hoshi.
Yeah. Hoshi and Travis just running things.
Yeah. Again, because it's really intelligent to get all your senior crew to go on their away mission. Mm-hmm. So if they die, second shift runs the ship.
Yes. Exactly.
Next thing you know, Boimler's running Enterprise. What? How'd that happen?
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
We got the Boim giving it to us.
Oh, yes.
It's like our EMH doesn't work anymore. Let Patrick do the operation.
I suddenly feel much better now, sir. I know. I really feel fine.
It's like,
well, I mean, that's what they did in Voyager with Paris.
True.
It's like, Patrick, can you take out this guy's appendix? I saw Dr. Phlox on TV once. Okay, it's yours.
You got the job.
Oh my God. Okay. I guess.
How many times have you practiced this? Simulated 100. How many real times? Counting this time?
2 and counting this.
So when you played the video game, what was your score? A 30? What the? You're not operating on me now.
It reminds me of a commercial they used to have on TV. It was really funny where the guy takes his car in and he's like, my transmission's acting up. Can you guys do Nissan transmissions? And he talks to his mechanic. Hey, can you do a Japanese transmission? I saw a guy do a Japanese once. It's yours.
Oh.
And they're talking about go to Amico or something like that.
Man.
It was funny. All right, I guess we can go to our next and last section.
Aye, Captain. Act 5. What's right is what's left if you do everything else wrong. Archer and Trip safely make it back to Enterprise, and Trip is rushed to Med Bay while Archer says goodbye to Soreballs. As Archer and T'Pol are walking back to the bridge, Archer admits that he thinks their cause is worth fighting for. Then T'Pol pinches his ass into submission, and they leave.
What show did you watch?
My show.
Oh, okay. I don't remember pinching ass in submission. What the hell?
Dude, if he's going to stay and he's like, oh, their cause is worth fighting for, we should stay, we should help. T'Pol pinches his ass, she puts him into the bridge, and they freaking leave because she is not dealing with that shit.
Not having it.
Not having that.
I liked, from a video nerd, from a film nerd kind of point of view, the very first shot in this episode, they're walking down the corridor. And at the very end of this episode, aside from the shot of the Enterprise going by, not including the shots of the Enterprise flyby and leaving at the end, the first shots and the last shots were the corridor shot. I thought that was kind of cool.
It really was.
And I mean, for film nerds, they're like, yeah, man, right on. Everyone else is like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Hallways. Very nice.
Hallways are hot. Yeah, right?
Yeah, hallways. Very cool.
Especially when Heather's walking down them.
Yeah, just definitely. Oh my God, gas propelled.
Oh, man.
Oh my God.
And
We're trapped in this room. We can't get out of this room. Don't worry, Heather's with us. Wait about 10 minutes to light a match. We'll blow the door off.
God. Oh man! So on the serious side of things, my note I wrote down was, even if I were the warrior you thought I was, that's not why we're out here. And it really explains to Soreballs what Enterprise is all about. And I kind of like that. And it's like, this is not what we're doing. We're out here to, explore strange new worlds, not help somebody dominate them.
Yeah, world conflict should be left to governments and not starship captains.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, he nailed that right, because it'd be so easy to force your will onto a civilization that has less technological development than you.
Yeah. Even though it really did seem like the cause may have actually been worth fighting for. It is kind of like, that's when T'Pol put back down and said, nope, we're going elsewhere.
Yeah, that was actually a really good pensive moment that helped to teach Archer, like you was saying earlier about the Prime Directive.
He's starting to get it. He's starting to understand, and you just don't go boldly into a place. You got to really pay attention to what's going on with the surroundings. And
it took him long enough.
It sure did.
Now, an Easter egg for this episode is Phlox did not appear in this episode at all, and this is the first episode in which he does not appear.
It really could have
Holy
used
crap.
a little bit more Phlox.
Yeah.
That's what we were missing in this episode. And
We were totally missing
Phlox
it.
treating heat stroke is not an exciting thing to watch. So
No, but I had
that's
to add
probably
it
not
in the
why.
summary because in my head I saw Phlox because I'm not watching an episode without
Well,
him.
I can see Phlox. Phlox could be on there. Well, I'm going to tell you, Tucker, you should take this salve and then rub it all over your skin, or else this will keep you from peeling. And if
Yeah.
you do,
Oh, did somebody go outside today?
Yep.
and if you do, please save the straws for my bat.
Exactly. You're going to peel a lot of skin off, but I'm going to use that to feed my bat.
What's not funny is that when I was younger, I never got sunburn. I mean, hello, never got sunburn.
Yeah, that's not, it's unusual.
Lucky.
But however, the ozone and everything changed. So I went out doing my normal, baby lotion to go out in the suntan and everything. And then all of a sudden I couldn't understand. It's like, why is my skin so hot? My skin is burning and it never used to burn me before. And I was
That's because
stationed
you
in the
hot,
desert.
baby. You sexy.
It was, my skin was, then I was in the shower and I swear people heard me scream because I was in the shower. It's like, oh, what the fuck is this? I'm peeling. What the fuck is this? Did I get leprosy?
It's pretty scary, isn't it? You don't expect that sort of thing.
I was peeled. Long strips of skin was coming off me, and I couldn't understand what it. So I talked to my white friend. He says, "Yeah, you get sunburn. You're peeling." It's like, what the fuck is that?
It's like whole no experience. I was helping my dad work on a car once, and I was bent over the car trying to get it. I think it was the brakes. We were working on the brakes.
Plumber's crack,
and the plumber
Actually,
was cracked.
I had an image of him like sexy, like looking, with the butt sticking out and the like one leg up.
I was bent over, and the shirt kind of lifted up a little bit. I mean, it wasn't the plumber's crack so much as the back of my back.
And then Patrick ran up behind you.
Yes. Oh God.
And then my buddies came over and like, oh, let's go watch this movie. And I'm sitting there in the theater watching the movie, and I'm like, is there something on the back of this chair? This chair is like, oh my God, my back is stinging like hell. Something's wrong with this. Like there's acid on this chair or something. No, you dumbass. You just got sunburned from bending over a car for 20 minutes. Surprised the hell out of me.
Yeah, that's what now, because I wasn't aware that I could get sunburn. Now my back it never used to be, but now my back is sensitive. If I get too much direct sunlight, it starts to sting. So I can't be in direct sunlight on my back anymore.
Here's one for you, since you're not used to sunburns and now you have to put on, suntan lotion and everything. Try to remember to put suntan lotion everywhere, because if you forget a spot, that spot's going to be red. Like, for example, last week, literally, I put suntan lotion on my entire body and forgot to put it on my face. So my face is tomato red, but my body is fucking white.
Oh, wow. Whoops.
That can scare the shit out of people if you walk up naked in the dark. They goes, I see a headless person glowing in the dark coming towards me. So, yeah. And Patrick, why are you so quiet this time?
I gotta pee.
Well, don't boil it and drink it, whatever you do.
Well, that explains it. Okay. I guess we're on towards the tail end here. We're just about done with everything. Go ahead.
In that case, so do you guys know what theme the titles were this week? And just to remind you, Make Your Life Spectacular. I know I did. Cricket is basically baseball on Valium. Reality, what a concept. Sand, it's everywhere. Time is the best teacher. Unfortunately, it kills all of its students. And what's right is what's left if you do everything else wrong.
I don't know. When you said the reality, it reminds me of Robin Williams, but
Yes, you got it. They are all quotes from Robin Williams.
Oh, wow. That's why it felt like I heard some of them before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because his reality, what a concept. I saw that when I was in college, and I thought I was going to have to be taken to the hospital. I laughed so hard.
Oh my God. Yes, because
hysterical.
I saw him one time. I completely agree with you. I laughed from the time it started to the time it ended, like constantly the entire time through, did not stop. My stomach hurt so freaking much from laughing for that long.
That man was so fast and
really
furious with his comedy. He would not stop. You could not catch your breath because it was so fucking funny.
I got to see him at the Comedy Store's 15th year class reunion, and some dude in the audience decided he thought he was going to heckle Robin Williams.
Oh, bad choice.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong with you?
Robin just had him for lunch. I mean, just,
The one thing that he did in concert that I could not catch my breath. I sounded like a beached walrus, is when he goes, I remember when the aliens came. They weren't the cute little green guys we thought they were. As it turns out, they were 8 feet tall, they were black, and they were pissed.
And they still liked anal probing.
Y'all remember World War III? All 30 seconds of it? When the president came on and said, you're on your own now. Good night.
Yep.
Oh, my God. He's so funny.
He's such a brilliant man. Oh, man.
Rest his soul.
Yeah.
This was on Heather's scale. What did you think of this one?
3.5. I am looking forward to season 2.
Wow. You still haven't gotten above the 3.5.
No, there's one episode she got good. I forgot which one it was, but yeah.
The Phlox one.
Yeah, the Phlox.
All right.
Yeah, the doctor one.
And what did you, Pat? What did you think of this one?
I thought it was like a 5, just kind of average. I mean, I like the underlying subtext about, getting involved in other people's wars and that sort of thing. But I was just an average.
And how about you, Rocky?
I was above average. I was an 8, I think, on this one. Yeah, it was the subtext that was very Star Trek-like. It was amazing looking at the Memory Alpha. The producers of the show thought this was the best one from season 1. And I don't know if I agree with that entirely, but it was a good episode. It was good Star Trek.
I would have to give it about a 4.5, maybe 5, because the desert stuff really pissed me off. They did a lot of stuff that you tend to not want to do in the desert, and you would think that they would have done a better job at it.
And you still haven't gotten all the sand out of your ass.
No, I still don't. Occasionally, I will find it.
That's probably why it bothered you.
Yeah, sand will get everywhere.
They got lots of hospitality, but don't talk about the sand.
No. Now, for those of you, our guest isn't here to talk about his show, but make sure you catch it out there. It's going to be Nerd Trek, if I'm not mistaken.
Trek Nerd Talk.
Thank you. Trek Nerd Talk.
T.N.T. Thunder
T.N.T, baby.
When it goes live, you'll get a link on our pages and social media to remind you to listen. It sounds like he's got a really interesting concept to be able to talk about the actors who are on the show and get their own personal perspective. We tend not to get actors on our show all the time because
the Tribbles.
Yeah. It's not good to have Tribbles up there, like humping Patrick Stewart's head or something. That's not good. And so, Patrick, what's coming on next week?
Next week's episode is called 2 Days and 2 Nights. It's season 1, episode 25. The Enterprise crew are faced with various misadventures and challenges while taking a 2-day break from their duties on planet Risa. So they finally make it to Risa!
We're going to Risa! We're going to Risa! Woo!
12-finger massages. Yes. And happy endings. So cool. Oh, last thing. There's a heat wave on Earth, if I remember on my calendar, that's happening about this time. People, stay cool. If you have to, you can make a field expedient air conditioning. What you can do is you go out and get a styrofoam cooler. You get bags of ice, put it in the styrofoam cooler, add salt to it, put the lid on it, cut a hole out into the lid, mount a fan on that, and allows the cold air to blow out of it. And you'll have like a makeshift air conditioning.
And it doesn't affect your PG&E bill?
And it doesn't affect your bill. And you can actually look for instructions on that by using Mr. Google, and it'll show you how to make an air conditioning out of a styrofoam ice cooler. So please stay cool.
Rocky,
yes.
Yeah.
Can we put a plug in the shuttle, because the air conditioning is out in the shuttle, and I need that in there.
I'll get right on that.
Thank you.
What are you doing in the shuttle?
Shh, nothing.
She needs air conditioning. That's what she needs.
So
La 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 la.
I wasn't going to say she was getting hot in the shuttle. I don't know what that means.
She's like, what happened was
if the Shuttlepods are rocking,
don't
come a knocking.
I've already heard the Tribbles proudly saying, well, I'm Heather's Luther number 1. I'm Luther number 2. I'm Luther number 3. I get to go to the naughty places. So I don't know what that's all about, but.
Oh, dude, we do S&M, so it's not even a name. It's just number 1, number 2, number 3.
Wow.
And
we're going to leave on that note because I'm going to make sure I scrub all the security footage because I don't even want to see that by accident.
I might want to look at that footage before you delete it, sir.
So everyone, please stay cool, be safe out there, and remember, just don't have a great week, but make it so.
And if you can, support the show by going to patreon.com/Starfleet Underground. Lots of perks to choose from, and you might even like some of them. Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter @StarfleetUnderG and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.